Hi, Mark and Donna. This is Steve from Country Comfort. We were out to service your chimney and we ran into a bunch of stuff. I thought this might be the easiest way to take a look and explain everything about what we found. Okay, so let's take a look at your house. This should look familiar. This is your house. Beautiful place. Nice chimney. I'm assuming this is a block construction with a stone veneer. On it they have a concrete cap. We hardly ever see that. That's a real good way to do things. This flue here is for the furnace, or that's what we're assuming. This flue here is for the downstairs or the upstairs fireplace. And then there's another flue here liner that you can just barely see right there. That's for the downstairs wood stove. So that's the layout of the chimney. Go to the next picture. The concrete cap looks good. Next picture, that's not working. Let's go here. There we're going. So, nice place. Love your solar panels. Wish everybody would do that. It looks like maybe this was an addition put on later. We're a little concerned about this wall back here. Nothing really serious. I'll explain that when we get there. Flashing looks good. Everything looks pretty good. So that's the house. Let's start down in the basement. And the basement is the old mill stove. It's down in the bottom. So this is the stove sitting over here by the pool table. These old mill stoves. This stove is probably about 30 years old. Or getting there. What they did with these stoves is on the bottom of the stove, when they built them, they usually welded the date on it, so you can take a flashlight in the mirror and look down there and probably see exactly how old it is. The stove does not have a testing label on it, which means all the clearances to combustibles are 36s on the stove to any combustible surface, and there's no testing labels that we can go with reduced clearances on it. The problem is the way they put it in. They put this black panel back here and just kind of blocked out, and the problem with that is when you're burning wood, you're dumping hot smoke into a big firebox, and then above that there's a smoke chamber up in here, and then the flues are too large. And what ends up happening is you get condensation. This chimney weighs tons and tons, so you're dumping hot smoke into a cold area and it condenses the tar out of the smoke. Just kind of like a glass of iced tea on a hot summer day, you get those little water droplets. Same thing with smoke, only it's tar instead of water. So what has happened, well, this is what we really like to see. See how nice and white the door is? This is the coldest part of your stove, and basically that tells us that we're getting good combustion inside the stove because of the color of it. If it's white, it's good. If it's black, it's bad. So I don't know what you're doing there, but you must be running it hot and have pretty good wood. That's the other door. That's the lighting. It looks darker than it is. All the ashes in here, flour, nice clean combustion. Again, good wood, good burning habits. This is looking up in the top of the stove. Again, pretty good. This is where we run into the problem. This pipe should go up into the first flue liner, which it doesn't. And there's some tar up in here. You can see that's the firebox floor. That's the plate. There you can see this black shiny stuff up in here, which is a creosote tar, and that's the stuff that burns. Now you can see how shiny this is. There's tar buildup all along here. So you're getting creosote close to the fire, and it's not heavy. The worst ones of these that we open up like this, the whole thing is coated with black shiny tar, and it's like hard baked on roofing tar. Once it catches on fire, it really takes off, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. That is looking up the flue liners. These are the flue liners running up through the chimney. You can see how shiny they are. So we had a little bit of tar buildup. This is up on the top of the chimney. This is the flue that's going down to the wood stove in the basement. You can see how clean that is. That looks real nice. Again, real nice. So rainwater is helping to wash this, but you're getting most of the tar accumulation down close to the stove, which is good. There you can see a little bit about the third flue down. It's starting to develop. This is looking up through the bottom. You can see all this black stuff. That's all creosote tar. Basically what's happening is, there's after we cleaned it. Basically what's happening with this stove is in '84 they passed they redid the National Fire Codes. It said the discharge of the stove, if it's 8-inch, you have to run an 8-inch pipe from the stove through this firebox, through the smoke chamber, up into the first flue liner, and preferably the whole way to the top. And that was all to avoid many chimney fires they were having for these old airtights. Now, and that can be done. But the cost of putting the stainless steel liner in there is going to be $1,800, and I don't know that that's the right way to go. Being that you're not having a severe problem, I can't tell you it's okay, but I can tell you that you're doing a good job with it. And that's the downstairs. Now the 36, this is from the top of the stove to the mantelpiece. That's should be 36 inches. It's 28 and a half. So what you want to do is hold your hand up against that, see if it's getting too hot to keep your hand against. If it is, then put a mantle shield across there to catch the heat before it heats up that old barn beam. So here again, that's not earth-shattering. And that's the downstairs chimney. Now let's go look at the upstairs chimney. This is the upstairs chimney. Now apparently on this chimney there were some repairs done at one time or another, and they ran a stainless steel liner down through it. Now when you're looking at fireplaces, the rules change a little bit. For each 10 square inches of opening area here, you should have 1 square inch of flue liner. They put an 8-inch flue liner in it, which has 50 square inches of area. This is a lot less than 500 square inches. So the flue for this chimney is way too small for this opening size. The saving grace here is probably the glass doors keeping the smoke from billowing out into the house. So that's kind of bad news. I don't know who fixed the chimney, but they didn't do. Here we got some tar here. You can see a little bit of shininess there. It's not bad. That's looking up through the chimney. Let me turn this light off. Yeah, that didn't help much. But there's some tar in there. There's the pipe. It's at the top of the smoke chamber. There's a liner. See the black stuff on there, that's tar. That's before we cleaned it. Kind of nasty looking. Great. That's after we cleaned it. You can see we got some of that tar off of there, but not all of it. That's the pipe going up through. That's after we cleaned the pipe. So that came out real nice. So basically what's going on here is we have a chimney that upstairs with a flue that's too small. We got a stove downstairs with a flue that's too big. So I'm not sure who the chimney guy was that was working on this, but he didn't do a real good job. To fix this is going to be very difficult to fix. To get that working right in the way it should be working. Probably your best bet there is if, and I don't mind, I'm not the sheriff. The authority having jurisdiction is your insurance company, if they would ever come in and give you a bunch of crap about this, and you would need to fix it. But short of that, I mean, you're living with it okay. It's not, it hasn't been done right, but what you're doing with it is very good. But to fix this, to make it an open burning fireplace again, that's going to be very expensive, you know, thousands of dollars. To put a pellet stove in there would probably be the easiest solution for what they've done already, and that's probably going to be $3,000–4,000 to put a pellet stove. The one down in the basement, let me get back down there. The old mill in the basement. This stove, what you would need to do to get this running or up to snuff is run an 8-inch stainless steel liner from this stove the whole way to the top of the chimney. That's probably going to run about $1,500–$1,600, maybe $1,700 depending on materials. And here again, it's up to you. Our job is to prevent fires from happening, and let you know of any problems we found before anything bad does happen. Okay, then the other thing is, I think this chimney is a block chimney. The other thing we were concerned about is this fireplace is upstairs, that there's not enough clearance there for the fireplace. And I think it's block, and I think it may be okay, but what is supposed to happen up there is if you look down at the firebox from the top, your firebox is shaped kind of like that, with the sidewalls, glass doors on it, and then your wood would sit right here, and then this would be the back wall of the fireplace. This is supposed to be 12 inches thick, and then there's supposed to be, to any combustible surface, and there's supposed to be a 2-inch airspace there before any combustible paneling or anything on the back side of that chimney. We don't know what's on the back side of the chimney, or the guy, our service guy didn't look, so we were a little concerned about that. And that would be this wall in this room back behind here. I'd be surprised if that was a problem, but it could be, and we had a lot of stuff we ran into. I don't see how our service guy got through all the work he did in the time that he did, but he did a nice job. Anyway, I wanted to let you know what's going on. I'm sure this is going to raise some more questions, so please don't hesitate to give me a call. The things that were done to the chimney weren't done properly, but what you're doing with the stoves and wood burning habits is pretty good. Okay, so give me a call if you can. It's Steve, Country Comfort, 792-9634. And thanks again.